Hey everyone, today I'm going to be going over the different styles of music and dancing and the way of celebration of Peru. My brothers and I were the only ones besides the rest of my family that were born here in the United States, and because of this family nationality, that's the main force behind why I chose this subject for my presentation. Music and dancing is a fundamental aspect of any country's culture. And I know at some point it was introduced to every one of you guys' life. The spectrum of these entertainment practices help people stay relaxed or energized. They help them keep themselves company, help them socialize. Most people don't know much about the Peruvian culture. It's the way they celebrate things, the sounds they make, the music, and the different dancing styles that they have. They're well known for using flutes and panpipes. I brought one here today. I got this out of the closet. My mom actually helped me dig this up. I didn't think I had this. It's kind of like ancient crap. About that. Usually, this music is contributed to the dancing people perform in rituals and celebrations, or they're just their own private family events. These events are usually so full of energy and neighbors who are willing to socialize and just overall have a great time. Of course, the music from the ancient times compared to the music developed during the Peru's contemporary years are far different. Back in the 1960s, Peru was finally introduced to Colombia's cumbia, and with that they mixed it in with their Andean music style and decided to make up their own cumbia, which is called chicha. This new form of music included a whole bunch of instruments, and electric instruments like electric bass, organ pipes, and guitars. As for the roots of the music development, it dates back during the ancient times of the Inca era. The author Andrew Taher wrote a research paper about the development of the music of the Andean music. He quotes that they introduced styles of music and instruments during the conquest. Those conquests were expeditions and expansions during the coast and during the south when they were expanded to the south. The population of these cultures was so focused on capturing music using wind and percussion, which are drums, drum beats. Everyone knows the beats. They also included the reason why they were not using other instruments, guitars and bass, is because they weren't introduced to it yet. It was only until the Spaniards came and invaded them that they were finally introduced. With all these music introduced to Peru, soon it helped them expand and on their style of music, and what you hear now, cumbia is more upbeat. And with all this music, there's got to be some form of people that express their love and joy for sound. One of the main dances that flows well with the Andean style music was it's called huayno. Huayno? Yeah, it's huayno. It is a very simple dance where the man reaches out for the woman and grabs her attention. He puts a little handkerchief on her shoulder, and then they finally decided to perform, and most of the dancing involves a lot of stomping, and then usually the whole dance is the man who follows up with the woman's movement. As for the national dance of Peru, it is classified as a marinera, which has been traditionally passed down and taught by generations to teach their kids so it doesn't just fall apart. Even my mom has been taught, and her 5 sisters have been taught to do it. And they were taught to teach their children, but unfortunately, my mom had 3 boys, including me, that were not interested in dancing at all. So I was like, the Smithsonian article broke down about what the dance is about. It explained how the Peruvian marinera was a flirtatious tradition where it involves a couple, both with a handkerchief on the right arm, and it's just all based about how close they are, how synced they are, their movement reflects about how connected they are. During the month of March, the Fiesta de la Vendimia is set every year in Peru in their capital, Lima. According to Oscar Cartellana, the festival was initiated about 75 years ago, where the tradition of appreciating fruits began. It's mostly involved with grape because in the festival, people use their feet to stomp on grape to make wine, some of the best wine, and that's one of the main attractors of this festival. The event allows people to experience the culture of Peru by showing off their colorful clothing, their orchestra, and the process of making some of the best wine in the country. This festival is sought out to be one of the best attractors of Peru and what it is able to provide. It truly brings in the locals and foreigners together to come celebrate the fruits that is being grown on their grounds. The best features of Peru has includes has to include is their music, their dancing styles, and the ways of their celebrations. And I hope that all you guys have learned enough here that I urge you guys to like visit it sometimes, vacations. I hope to come back to it sometime. I've been there twice, it's fun.